edition of Hodge and Podge. You ready to get into these topics?
Let's do it.
All right, so sort of big news, or maybe blustering last week. The Mayweather camp said they got the MGM, I think it was, for May 5th.
Yeah, and then
Pacquiao's all in.
Then Pacquiao came back and said, "No way, this isn't going to happen. This is all a bunch of smoke." I'm just really disappointed in this whole thing. I mean, this is the fight that people want to see, and this is when I go into my diatribe about how great boxing used to be, and et cetera, et cetera. But let's just get together and fight. I mean, what's the problem here?
I don't understand this whole posturing. Are they just trying to milk it for even more money, make it more hyped?
I think a lot of it is.
Do you think it's ever going to happen? I kind of feel like it's not going to happen. I kind of feel like they're never actually going to fight.
I think there's going to be so much money involved that they'll eventually fight.
I kind of think somebody is scared. I don't know who's scared, but somebody is definitely scared.
I think Mayweather wants to wait a little bit to see if Pacquiao is a little bit more human, and then he's going to fight him. It's kind of what happened with Tyson, right? I mean, it's like people really didn't want to fight him, and then all of a sudden, he had those legal troubles. He went to jail a little bit, lost all of his skills, and everybody was lined up to fight him. But I think it eventually happens. But I just think the sad part is for boxing, and then we had the passing of Joe Frazier this week, and it was a reminder of what boxing used to be, where you had great fights. I mean, here he fought all
it's kind of before my time, so I'm just gonna let you go.
Well, I mean, he fought Ali 3 times, right? And I was a little young for the first one, but I mean, I can remember, the thrill in Manila. I can remember Frazier fighting George Foreman, but these guys fought everybody. I mean, was it this whole ducking everybody? Let's wait. I mean, let's get a drug test the day of the fight. I mean, you basically saw the fights you wanted to see, and I think it's just it's sad.
And they weren't pay-per-view, right? You could actually see them.
Right, you could watch people on. I mean, the whole Frazier Foreman was on. It was free TV. You watched it on TV.
I kind of feel like pay-per-views kind of just
killed it.
Yeah.
When you said the Friday night fights, I mean, Ali used to fight on TV all the time. I mean, it was like he'd fight.
Sweet.
Right. I mean, it was all free. But I mean, it's just sad. Pacquiao and Mayweather should get in the ring and fight.
Oh man, let's bring it back to the
present. I'm going to bite that. I'm going to buy that fight, though. I would buy the fight.
Yeah, I would probably.
Because it's the one fight everyone wants to see. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, there you go. Gravy train. Good job.
All right, so back to the president. NFL topic. Everybody's talking about this. Tim Tebow's through 3 starts now, and a lot of criticism.
I just thought I understand Tebow. He played okay, then he played really bad, and then he played okay this weekend.
So he's 2-1, right? So,
but I just
he's got 2 wins.
Doesn't it seem to you the criticism just lower the top? And a couple guys I point to was really Merrill Hodge, and by the way, don't spell his last name, but it's like the whole thing around the coach is just putting him in there to prove to the fans that he can't play and all this. I don't buy into that. And granted, Merrill Hodge played in the NFL. I never did. But it just seems like everyone's now just going out of the way to kill Tebow. I mean, he's probably going to. And we said this. We had this discussion a couple weeks ago. But I mean, he's going to be an average to below average quarterback. But it just seems people are kind of killing him. I mean,
I think the Redskins could probably use him right now.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
Some of the I think he deserves some criticism. I don't know. Some of it does seem over the top. Merrill Hodge has gone a little bit above and beyond to say this guy just shouldn't be in the NFL, and I think that's a little bit too harsh. I like when they break it down and they show kind of his extended motion and how long it takes him to deliver the ball, and that's an impact.
Which is legitimate. But that's legitimate.
But I think what they forget to do sometimes is give him credit for being elusive in the pocket, which makes up for that. And
he ran for over 100 yards on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that makes up for it. I'm not really a big Tebow fan. I still think they should have given Brady Quinn a shot before they gave him a shot.
Right, and
I don't think they're trying to lose the games. I think they're just trying to see what they got, because what else are they going to do? Just keep him on the payroll? His first-round pick, he's making a ton of money.
Right, I want to be clear. I said this a couple weeks ago. I don't think he's going to be a successful NFL quarterback. I just think that people are saying, this whole thing was just piling on him. I think there's a little bit of unfairness.
Yeah, I wish they'd get back to talking more about Andy Dalton and Cam Newton than this guy. I mean, he's not even the rookie. He's in his second year.
That's the one thing about analyzing the NFL, though, because you have the game and you got 6 days to fill before the next game, right?
I watch every day, man.
Yeah, me too. But
all right, next topic. You ready to talk about college football?
Let's do it.
So after the wonderful, exciting,
the
tantalizing 9-6 victory in overtime.
That was a painful game.
The new BCS standings came out, and I guess what do you make of where everybody's at?
Well, it looks like we're on a collision course for LSU, and because LSU should be able to run the schedule, they'll have Georgia in the championship game.
You think that, but if the SEC truly is the best conference, as people always say, then there should always be an opportunity for another team to beat them. Well, their defense looks amazing, but their offense doesn't.
It looks average. Well, there's an opportunity, but I mean, how good is the opportunity? I think it's the question. I think LSU runs the table. I think the bigger question.
Do you think they can beat a Georgia or South Carolina if they got to play them in the championship?
I think so.
Pretty easy.
That defense is stifling, man. That defense is stifling. I think the bigger question is who they're going to play. Because you have Oklahoma State.
They still got to meet Oklahoma. So
that's going to be a high hurdle, and I don't know if they can get over that. Maybe this sets up for Boise State, right? I mean, can Boise State hurdle? Maybe what we're going to be talking about, can Boise State hurdle a one-loss Alabama?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I think that's and all the critics that come out of the woodwork by the BCS.
All Stanford's got to do is get past Oregon this weekend, right? So if they get past Oregon, I think they're going to stay ahead of Boise State unless Stanford and Oklahoma State lose, I think Boise State's probably got the
Stanford's got to get through.
Alabama's not third right now, so
that's going to be really painful for the BCS.
I would not want to watch a rematch. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't either.
If LSU had lost,
a bowl game shouldn't be a rematch. It shouldn't be a rematch.
It shouldn't. Not really. Not when you.
Nobody wants to see it because you've already settled it in the regular season.
I could maybe be swayed if it was 9-6 and LSU had lost at Alabama, but I mean Alabama was at home and they lost. I mean.
Right.
You should have been able to win that game.
Right.
I can't reward a team for losing at home.
I think
they got to figure something out.
If this becomes an LSU Alabama matchup, that's going to now all the playoff guys that come out of the woodwork.
I'd rather see Oklahoma, even though they lost.
No, I agree. I'm going to say it's going to be LSU. I think Oklahoma State gets it done against Oklahoma. I'm going to go right now. I think it's going to be LSU Oklahoma State.
All right.
Who you got?
I'm going to wait until we go through our picking
segment. Come on, man.
So here's a teaser. You got to watch the picking segment because we're going to talk about some of these teams.
All right. What's up next?
So up next is our weekly NBA lockout update. So
any way we can settle this thing?
Let's see. The owners have said 51%. Here's the deal. If you don't sign it by Wednesday, we're knocking it down to 47%. You got players talking about. There's some dissension among them, right? Some of the high-paid players are like, we're going to reject this. Some of the lower-paid are going, come on now, I kind of need a paycheck. And then there's talk about decertification. Where are we going with this? What's kind of your gut saying to you?
I think they're going to get a deal. I mean, I'm just going to go. I just think that there's just too much to be lost. I think the players are going to come back and say. And
that they're going to take. You think the players are going to take the 51?
I think they're going to take the 51 because I think what is now the owners are giving in on some of these other systematic type things around the mid-level exemption.
I don't know how the players could not take 51% when what they want 52 and a half. I mean to be and I know Kobe came out and said like why wouldn't we just take this?
Well, because Kobe, LeBron, they're not affected by this. They're not the guys affected by it.
But I was surprised that Kobe said, let's just take this, as opposed to, like...
Because he wants to play.
Well, he wants to play, but these other... I mean, there's got to be... But there's got to be 70% of the league that's saying, I need a paycheck. I mean...
Right, well, I mean, that's what the split is in this whole dispute, right? You got certain owners. You got the high-end owners, Jerry Buss for the Lakers. You got guys like the Bulls. You got guys like the Heat, the Knicks. They want to play because it's in their favor. You got the poor small market guys that want to settle. Then in the players, you got the rich guys like Kobe, and then you got the middle tier guys who are trying to make a living. That's the difference, right?
Right, but to that point, I would have thought that Kobe would have come out and said, "Let's reject this. We need a better deal." Because he has the money. Now I know
he's gonna get paid no matter what.
I know that he's towards the end of his legacy, so he probably wants to get in there and win another championship or whatever.
So he can be with Jordan, right?
But I don't think they're going to get it done. I think the players are going to back down and say we want better, and I think the owners at this point are just going to say, "Look, we can't."
I think cooler heads prevail.
I don't think so. I think they're going to lose the season. I'm back to they're going to lose the season.
We'll see.
You all right there?
Not really, but go ahead.
All right. Well, get your little drink there. And
You got me all fired up at the NBA.
The last topic we got is Stevie Williams, Tiger Woods. There's still some bad blood there. Stevie Williams had a comment about...
What's going on with this guy? You got fired. Just deal with it. I mean,
this is bad.
Honestly, Stevie's really popular. I mean, you were at the U.S. Open. I think we were sitting together in the 13th. So Stevie came up. I mean, Stevie's popular. I mean, he's more popular than Adam Scott. Everyone's, hey, Stevie, yeah. I think he's got to move on and be a professional about it. He made millions of dollars with Tiger. He should be thanking Tiger, hey, I understand you want to go a different direction, et cetera, right? But, I mean, to say stuff like this, I mean, racially charged, it's ridiculous.
I don't want to go too long on this topic, but I do think that this points to kind of a underneath kind of covert him. He may be a little bit leaning towards the racist side. That's not something that normally you think you're going to hear out of a guy.
He's trying to hurt Tiger. He's trying to hurt him.
But he could have hurt him without that word to say to specifically call him out as black. I think he could have left that out. I don't think it's good for him. I don't think it's good for anybody. I was happy to see that Tiger kind of said, we talked about it and it was hurtful, but we're going to get past it. And I think him being the bigger person, I think that's good for him. But yeah, it's not good for golf or anybody.
Not a positive.
All right, that's it. We're going to wrap it up now. He's going to fix his voice. And you guys check out our next episode, HodgeandPodgeSports.com. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot.